watch this video, click on the link that's right below here, and that will take you over to practicetheguitar.com, and there you can practice this shuffle blues pattern in the key of G at 15 different tempos with full tablature, notation, and backing tracks, all designed to help you to improve your playing. Go check it out. Getting a good handle on the shuffle blues pattern in any key is a formidable challenge as it is. I wanted to put a lesson together that covers that Stevie Ray Vaughan style shuffle blues with the downstrokes and with the offbeat dead string upstroke thing. That kind of thing, but something that's not in the key of E, because we're so familiar with hearing Pride and Joy. When we go to transpose those sort of shapes to any other key, it's kind of a challenge to get all the strings muted and to get the notes to sound the way that we want them to sound as if we were playing in an open key. You basically have two different rhythms or two different things happening at the same time with this exercise. Number one is this bass line pattern that's happening on the downbeats, which is to the 4 chord like that, but that's all the downbeats. And then on the offbeats, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And what might be a good thing to do is at first isolate and separate those two elements so you can get your hands to simply play them separately before you just dive in and try to combine them all together. A good way to do this is, say for example, like in the key of this exercise, if we were outlining G7 or G9, then the pattern would be this. That's the basic shape that we're trying to get. So again, notice how the downstrokes or the bass line notes fall on the downbeats and the dead strings fall on the upbeats. So what you're going to want to do is take that super duper slow and just simply get 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And just get that pattern happening and slowly combine them. Of course, you can always just do 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, so on and so forth. And you can separately practice going 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. So, of course, the upstroke patterns are going to seem really simple to you just doing them on their own. Combining them, of course, is the challenge. But so, getting the muted strings with the muted notes to happen at the same time takes a little work with the left hand. And if you notice that with a lot of these types of shuffle patterns, you end up basically barring your first finger and fretting the notes that you want to ring. So say for example, if I was to just play this note, I'm basically wrapping the thumb and my first finger, and all my other fingers for that matter, around the neck. And I'm basically just fretting that one note and using this part of my hand and this part of my hand to get the strings muted. So this is an awesome exercise on its own, even if you were just to take, say for example, the minor pentatonic scale. Get that kind of vibe where you're just still strumming all the strings, but only playing one note at a time. You can see how hard that is. And when you're on the higher strings, what I tend to do is kind of mute with this hand as well, because it's so much harder to kind of lay your finger flat and still just get, say for example, the first string to ring. So I'm actually using this part of my hand too when I'm on those higher strings. So get you can hear when you get the muted strings the way they're supposed to sound, and you get these low bass line notes to ring the way that you want them. Notice this, it's this strong and kind of long type downstroke. To get that to ring. It's not an easy technique, but once you get it, it's super useful for many things. Not even just for playing not only playing just the shuffle blues like this, but even if you were playing, say, funk style guitar, where you're going, and you wanted single notes instead of the chord. If you get a handle on that kind of technique, you can basically solo while still strumming all the strings. Super, super useful stuff. If you think you'll get a lot out of learning this 12-bar blues shuffle pattern, just click the link that's right below here. That will take you over to the site. You can sign up. You can practice with all the tempos. I have separate backing tracks without the guitar on the backing tracks, so you can isolate parts and get a real good handle on the upstrokes and the downstrokes, and really just give yourself a chance to practice this stuff and slowly put it together from slower tempos to faster tempos. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Hope to see you next time.